Hey embracers, welcome back to another laundry motivation video. You'll hear baby K in the background, so just ignore him. This morning I'm starting, my line is a little bit lean. You can see that it's leaning over. We have been getting a lot of rain, and what happened is that the bolts that screw the base of the line stick down into the ground, because the ground is waterlogged, the bolts started to come out, and so the line is leaning over. So hubby is gonna come and fix that. He moved it to a different spot, and now he's hammering the bolts back down into the ground, and I'll have a sturdy line to put my clothes on. If you're in need of some laundry motivation, I'll be here for a little bit over 9 minutes, so I invite you to put me on your favorite device and let's get this laundry done together. I additionally asked hubby to lower the line by around 2 levels. So the bar has some holes in there that a prong goes into to hold the line in place, but he had this new setup makes it a little bit taller. I can still reach the lines, but it becomes I get fatigued easily is what I'm trying to say, because I have to stretch up. I had lowered it myself by 2, and that still wasn't enough. I don't want it to be too low, but I asked him to just lower it by another 2 that morning. And this is the same old line, you guys. I don't remember if you've been here before. You remember I was having problems with this line, and I said I was gonna buy a new one, and then he said, no, don't buy a new one, we're gonna figure out the base situation. So we had actually bought this base on Amazon that it's made out of metal, I believe, but when we got it, it still wasn't heavy enough to keep the line in place. So he got the bolts at a local hardware store, and he drilled the holes into the base and then knocked the bolts down into the ground, and it's been working out pretty well. As I said, we only had to move it because of the rain every day and the ground being waterlogged. You know, the dirt gets soft and that sort of stuff. So here today I did darks. This is mommy and baby clothing that I'm hanging out right now. So in today's video you're gonna see me pegging out clothes, picking them up, and also you're gonna see some folding as well. Another thing that hubby had done this morning is he changed the filter that's connected to the house. So he was showing me, he was gonna leave, so he was showing me the filter and telling me to check it after a little bit to see if it was leaking. So that's why I walked away from the line just now. Now it's on to my next load, which is a load of light colored clothing, and this is for hubby and my stepson. When the baby was younger, I used to wash my clothes with his clothes because he used special detergent and fabric softener because he has eczema. Now I can pretty much go back to washing my clothes with everybody else's clothes, but I guess I've kind of just fallen into the routine of doing it. He does still get eczema flares, but he doesn't get the flares as often as he used to when he was younger. When he was younger, he used to get them like every day. I had to be putting cream on him every day, the prescription cream on him every day. Now I'll go a week, 2 weeks before he has a flare, and then once I use the cream on him, it usually goes away within a day, or say 1 to 3 days. So I think I can maybe go back to just washing my clothes with everybody else's clothes. The point was that because he spent so much time touching me, then that's why I was washing my clothes with his. But I think now that he's mobile and all over the place, I can go ahead and go back to not washing his clothes with mine. So this is when we were done, and we actually went around to check the water filter, and it was fine, it was not leaking, so that was good. Now this is later in the day. You can see that the skies have gotten dark, so I am taking these clothes off the line, and then we're gonna head inside and sort and fold and put them away. Little man is out here with this little bucket, and he did not want to leave it alone. He actually was coming inside the house with it. Alright, so now it is time to sort and fold the clothes. I'm gonna go ahead and take out the clothes from my stepson and place those on his bed. He will fold his own clothes. He also does his own ironing. And then I'm gonna go through hubby's stuff, my stuff, and the baby stuff. While I was folding, I was watching the Jeffrey Dahmer story thing that was on Netflix, that came out on Netflix. I think it came out recently. I don't really keep up, but it was emotional for me, because we so often think that what happens in our households or how we raise our children doesn't really affect anybody else, but this is proof to the fact that what happens with our children really does affect other people, because it was at the point where his dad, I'm sorry if you haven't watched it and you're currently watching it, there's a spoiler, so you might want to just mute your device at this point. But at the time when he was getting sentenced and he was going off, and his dad was like, he was trying to find somebody to blame, and then he realized that it was him that was supposed to blame, and how he said something like he passed on his demons to him. That's probably not exactly what he said, but he said something of that sort. And it was just very emotional for me all around. Like, the poor people, I feel especially for the deaf guy. Boy, it was sad, but I watched the entire thing, and it's unfortunate that we live in this world where these kinds of things go on. And I mean, as I said, there was a lot of emotions with this show, because like that lady that lived next door that kept calling the cops, and just how the cops, even in towards the end, and they were calling those the people and telling them to go back on the boat that they came on and all of that. And boy, it's just, it was one of those shows that you watch and it's just all kinds of emotions, sadness, anger, it's feeling empathy. It was just a mix of emotions watching that. Not a show, was it kind of like a documentary or a docu-series, reenactment, whatever, I'm not sure exactly what you call it, but yeah man, it brought out a lot of emotions. My heart goes out to all of the victims and their families. I know that happened a long time ago, but it is so sad. Alright guys, so here we are at the end of the video. I'm done folding. I just need to put away my stuff. I've put away the baby stuff and hubby stuff. Thank you so much for spending 9 minutes of your life with me, and I'll see you right here in another few days with a new video. Bye!